need you guys to pretend that I look much better than I do right now. I've been sick for a week, but it's not gonna stop me. Nothing stops me. I'm strong. I got a message on my Patreon from a lovely individual named Jane, and I wanted to read that and respond to it here. My shirt does say Cat Mom, because it's what I am, so there's that. I just finished my first year of college, and I'm now home for the summer. At school, I've made a really solid group of friends who are super supportive and wonderful. Now that I'm home for an extended period of time, I realize that I don't feel like myself when I am around my high school friends. This includes my best friend of almost 14 years. I don't want to stop seeing them because they aren't toxic people. I just feel I've outgrown them. How do I maintain a strong sense of self around people who see me as someone I'm not? Wow. Thank you, Jane, for your lovely message. Also, thank you, Jane, for supporting on Patreon. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I've often said this to myself and maybe YouTube, not really to anyone in my life because it's kind of a weird thing to say to them. But I don't feel like really anyone has known me in any kind of substantial way, with the exception of the last year or so. So I relate very, very heavily. Let's talk about high school. High school is so interesting. The way I would describe myself in high school is as a try-hard. I tried very hard in high school. I didn't try very hard in my classes or in my extracurricular activities. What I tried very hard in was being liked. I saw what other people were doing that was working for them, and I tried to emulate it. I had a very confusing sense of self in that there really wasn't one, so I based myself entirely off of how people perceived me. I don't think that's a very unique story. I think obviously there's a bit of nuance to mine given gender and sexuality and all that kind of stuff, but I think that's something that we all do when we're teens, you know? For the first time, we can look at ourselves in the mirror and say, oh, that's a person. That's an actual person, and it's also me. What does any of that mean? It's a confusing time, it's a stressful time, but it's such an important time. Something that I read maybe far into, maybe I projected my own stuff on because I did this a lot, and I still do this, and it's the tendency to diminish the past as not as significant as now or the future. It's to diminish what we've gone through and the relationships we've had, because they're not as good anymore. I'm trying really, really hard in my life. I'm trying super, super hard to avoid any kind of absolutist and binary thinking because the world is not so black and white. Our high school friends are the first time that we really had any kind of choice in who we were and who we associated ourselves with. And because of that, those decisions and those people are always going to be really significant. And it can be super, super sad when it doesn't work like it used to. I might not be the best person to address this because I'm really good at moving on. Oh man, I'm so good at moving on. Especially in the divide between high school and the bit of college I went into to my adult life. That was such a hard cutoff for me that I had to execute perfectly. So moving on has always been a skill of mine. But I also totally understand this feeling. Every time I go home, I have not a similar feeling in that I don't get along with my old friends. My feeling is I don't really have any friends from high school. I go back home and I see people from high school and yeah, it's cordial, it's fun, they're fine people doing their lives, but it's just there's no knowledge of who the other person is, and there's no desire to get to that point like there is with real life friends. I'm gonna talk about what I've done to not necessarily rationalize this because that feels like it's cheapening it, but to keep it significant while also not allowing its significance to stop me in my tracks emotionally. One of the hardest things about growing up is understanding that friends come and go. They're going to come and go. People you were friends with are not always going to be people that you're friends with. It is supremely rare that you'll find a person or any kind of individual or something that's going to last you your whole life. That's just not something it's why it's so special when it does happen. We are all of us dynamic, growing individuals. All of the cells in our body will have been replaced in the next 7 years. You will literally be an entirely different person, just sort of like a shadow projection of what that was, but in a new form. It's crazy. Instead of, and this is a message to me as well, getting upset when people don't know you like you know yourself, view it as an opportunity. I have been so scared of the world for like friggin' like 8 months, like almost a year now. I've been so scared of the world, and like my trust has been rocked because of life and whatever, and it's stupid. I know my tendency when I don't feel completely accepted or supported is to just go on my own way and shut myself off and isolate, because I know myself and I'm gonna protect myself, and so why give the world the chance to disappoint me? Like that's so sad, but like, yeah, that's what I do. I am trying so hard in this life. Whether it's in situations like this or whether it's just in everyday existence, to stop thinking like that. Someone not knowing you is an opportunity to introduce yourself. With friends from the past, you have the added bonus of context. Like, you know, these are people you've already had experiences with. And yeah, everyone here is different, but that's the fun of catching up. It will most likely not vibe nearly as well as it used to, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Sometimes it will in an entirely new way, and that's even more exciting. I personally, I'm on a kick right now where I really want connection with other people. I really want it. And I want it in like an uplifting and giving way where it's not just about me. It's not just about what I'm doing or thinking or feeling or whatever. It's about intersecting my story and someone else's story. And sometimes that creates an even better story. And that's what I want. Because to take all this like really complex relationship stuff and boil it down simply into something that makes it make a little bit more sense, you really have like two choices here. You can either stop engaging with these people, or you can continue to engage with these people or person, whatever situation you're in. Learning when to stop is an important skill set in adulthood, but you can take that too far. I am Exhibit A. When you constantly, almost every single time, elect to protect yourself and move on from a situation or a person, you're gonna end up lonely. Sometimes that's just the situation and you're still making the right choice for yourself in the long term, and that's fine. All relationships in all kinds are gonna be risks. And with great risk becomes great reward. Say words right, Connor. Where I am in my head and in my life, I would much rather take a chance and try and view it as an opportunity as opposed to an obstacle. So Jane, to get back to what we were talking about, because we went somewhere else. And keep in mind that I am just a lonely cat mom who makes a lot of mistakes and is just trying my best every single day. My vote here, not that it really is like a black or white decision, is to view this situation with your old friends, your old best friend, your high school friends, as a chance. It sounds like you're really proud of the work that you've done on yourself, and that's amazing. That's like so awesome, and I'm proud of you as well. This summer, while this is the group of people that you have, this is your current tribe, like, use that chance to show off. That's one of my favorite things about taking long breaks away from certain people or going somewhere else and learning about yourself, is when you come back, you get to do this fun showcase. Like, yeah, this is who I am now. I've referenced going home as like a weird, awkward, negative thing earlier in this video, but for me now, it's an opportunity. I don't know about you, Jane, but I love the person that I'm becoming, and I want to share that with as many people as possible. I'm sick and tired of being so violently lonely because of my own actions. I've chosen to protect myself more often than not, and that hasn't really reaped any benefits in my actual physical social life or even my creative life. For those who have been around for a while, you've noticed I haven't been uploading as often recently. I'm so worried about what people are gonna think of me negatively, even people I've been around forever, and that it's gonna skew towards the negative, that I protect myself and I just withdraw. And if there's one thing I've learned in this short life of mine, is that life is short. I would much rather take a chance and show off the person that I am, and maybe get to know people who I've known in the past and know in whole new ways now, than being lonely. I would also much rather release something on the internet than nothing. I want to do that again. So those are my thoughts on that. I don't know if any of it made sense. I'm so nasally right now, it's ridiculous. Like I just said, I have plans, concrete plans about how I'm going to do this more often, and I'm excited about it. The message from today, the prompt from today came from Patreon, and that's where I'm going to be sourcing a lot of video ideas and subjects and things to talk about, is from Patreon. I'm going to have posts up there where you can sort of like leave your suggestions or questions or concerns or anything there. You can also send me anonymously in a private message on Patreon. Not only are my Patreon supporters gonna get this video and all videos early before I post them onto YouTube or wherever else on the internet, there's also gonna be, for every single upload, there's gonna be a bonus upload for Patreon people only. And the idea behind that is giving back to the people who are supporting me, which is incredible. And number two, working out that creative muscle and just getting back on the horse and doing the dang thing, because I miss doing the dang thing. That's about it though for me. Thank you to all of you for watching, for sticking around, for commenting, for participating in whatever way you do. I love you guys so much, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Yeah, sure.